2 years ago, one of Nigeria's most strategic infrastructure projects stalled. Not because of funding or security or feasibility, but because of a naming error. So while $4.7 billion was allocated for ports in Lagos, Delta, and Ondo, a single administrative mistake, the wrong legal entity listed on a federal license, froze approval for the Ondo Deep Seaport, putting billions in potential investments on pause. Jobs stalled, trade momentum slowed, timelines collapsed. And this week, that license was formally revalidated. And with it, Nigeria quietly restarted something far bigger than a port. In Africa, infrastructure doesn't fail first. Often paperwork does. And remember, if you want more Africa First stories the Western media ignores, hit subscribe. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why fixing one line of documentation just unlocked real maritime power for Nigeria.
The governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has presented the certificate of Ondo Deep Seaport Development Limited to the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Itola. The proposed deep seaport is expected to improve the livelihoods of indigents of Ondo State and Nigerians at large. It's also projected to reduce transshipment costs, boost economic activities, and create employment opportunities due to its strategic location and capacity.
Mineral resources is an addition that we have in Ondo State that have not been tapped right now. For example, bitumen. Ondo State has the second largest bitumen deposit in the whole world. And we need a deep seaport to be able to do the exploration and the marketing of that product. So deep seaport will also facilitate the exploration of bitumen from Ondo State.
So Nigeria sits on one of Africa's most strategically valuable coastlines. Yet for decades, its maritime system has been overstretched, chronically congested, long cargo dwell times, rising logistics costs, overdependence on Lagos ports, right? The solution was never mysterious. Nigeria needed deep sea ports, facilities capable of handling modern, large vessel shipping, reducing congestion and supporting export-driven growth. The Ondo Deep Seaport was designed to do exactly that. A deep-water Atlantic gateway, a port-linked industrial hub, a logistics anchor for southwest Nigeria and the wider Gulf of Guinea. In 2023, the federal government issued the operating license. Then everything stopped, not because the project failed, but because the license named the wrong investor entity, creating legal uncertainty and forcing regulators to pause implementation. So when trade routes meet bureaucracy, even commas can shut down an economy, right? Most people think this headline means that the government revalidated a license. It sounds routine, administrative, or forgettable. But what's actually happening is this revalidation is not symbolic. The Ondo Deep Seaport is a strategic deep water infrastructure project designed to decongest Lagos ports, reduce logistical bottlenecks, attract long-term private capital, and anchor export-oriented industrial clusters supporting Nigeria's non-oil trade strategy. So for 2 years, uncertainty around documentation blocked investor confidence. And capital doesn't move without legal clarity, right? So with the license now formally corrected and revalidated, the project regains what infrastructure needs most: certainty. So this matters for African power and infrastructure because infrastructure does not respond to speeches, it responds to precision. Economic power in the 21st century is decided less by ambition and more by execution. So this story isn't about embarrassment. It's about how administrative accuracy determines economic destiny, right? So the license was approved, the typo wasn't, right? And that's just infrastructure policy in real life. So this has a huge economic impact. A functioning deep sea port in Ondo reshapes Nigeria's trade geometry. So it enables port-linked logistics jobs, manufacturing and processing zones, export corridors for agriculture and industry, and it reduces reliance on congested ports. So this is not speculative development. This is hard capacity steel, water depth, throughput timelines, so it has a huge regional impact. Ondo is not just a Nigerian project. It strengthens West Africa's position in global shipping by adding another competitive Atlantic gateway. lowering regional trade costs and easing pressure on existing hubs. So ports don't just move goods, they redistribute advantage. So there's another political and strategic impact here. Ports are not neutral infrastructure. They decide who controls timelines, who captures value, who sets trade conditions. So ports don't debate policy, they enforce it, right? And so what comes next, right, now that the license is restored? So three things will follow. Capital can move again. Investors don't fear risk, they fear ambiguity. So this revalidation removes ambiguity, reopening financing, construction timelines, and long-term planning. Industrial cluttering accelerates ports attract ecosystems, right? So warehouses, factories, logistics firms, service industries, that's how coastlines become economic engines, not just transport points. And thirdly, blue economy strategy takes shape. So this project fits Nigeria's broader blue economy pivot. So leveraging maritime assets, diversifying beyond oil, anchoring growth in trade and logistics. So as we've said before on this channel, Africa's future growth won't come from speeches. It'll come from ports, power, processes. So next episodes, we can talk about why ports, not airports, right? Deciding long-term African trade power. So here's the quiet truth here. When infrastructure is delayed, opportunity waits, but it doesn't wait forever. Precision matters, processes matter, and execution matters. So, mashallah, that's your Africa Insight for today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm Mr.EmpowerTV. We don't chase the headlines, we chase the truth behind them. This is Mr. Empower, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.